Hi. From this week's readings, I have learned about cultural humility, cultural awareness, advocacy, and social justice. And essentially, I've learned that they are all intricate parts of the counseling profession. They're all connected and they all make up a part of the whole, which is your multicultural competency as a counselor. So basically, cultural humility is being open and ready to work with a broad spectrum of clients from diverse backgrounds. It is a big part of cultural competence and multicultural openness. The textbook breaks down cultural humility into two basic parts: intra and interpersonal humility. Basically, the intra part is being self aware, being introspective, and being questioning what are my biases and being aware of my own cultural background, and essentially realizing I have blind spots and to be aware of those and trying to notice those as they pop up in my own life. And it is also essentially about maintaining an open and teachable attitude when working with clients, being willing to learn from your clients, being vulnerable with your clients, and vulnerable with yourself. So it's basically a journey, it's a process, and we really never arrive, as with anything in life. And it is an attitude of being lowly, of making yourself low, just like Jesus did. And moving on to advocacy, I look at advocacy as change, being an agent for change, lobbying for change in the legal regard in order to help your clients. Advocacy, also, as noted in the textbook, it also begins with counselor self awareness, which I thought was really interesting. And social justice is about fairness, being a voice for the marginalized in society, for those clients that can't speak for themselves. We need to be a voice for them. And social justice, it also begins with the counselor's self awareness, asking yourself, where am I unjust? What are my biases? And my understanding of the ethical principles regarding cultural humility and the like, the ACA Code of Ethics supports counselors and counselor educators becoming change agents of social justice. And that is talked a lot about in the book, and it is referencing the ACA Code of Ethics, section 3A, 4, and 5. And I won't go into all that now for time's sake. But it's basically saying that advocacy, social justice is imperative for all those involved in the field. There's so many Bible verses about this, but I did choose to, and this is the section I get really excited about. Jesus himself is the ultimate revolutionary, right? He's the ultimate agent for change and social justice. So it's fitting that Jesus says in the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew 5, verse 3, and I'm going to read from the Amplified. He says, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, the humble who rate themselves insignificant, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." So that's it. Rating yourself insignificant, for that's the kingdom of heaven. Those are the people that get to be a part of what God is doing, the humble. Another verse I love is Isaiah 66:2. It says, "These are the ones I look on with favor, those who are humble and contrite in spirit and who tremble at my word." So that's what it's all about, is staying humble. So that leads me to an action that I would take to develop or demonstrate cultural humility with my clients. And again, it's all about being intentional, being a lifelong learner, a perpetual student of myself, my client, the profession, constantly focusing on humility, keeping pride in check by continually going to God in prayer, going to the Word, examining myself, allowing the Holy Spirit to examine my heart. And remember, I'm not an expert on my client's culture. I have to learn from them. And one action I will take to advocate or engage in social justice for client populations is I will stay aware, do my due diligence to stay informed of current issues like and I will do this by going to organizations like the ACA, like the AACC, or like my state counseling organization in the state of Georgia. That is one thing I can do to do my part to advocate for the marginalized client populations. And one more thing I want to add when it comes to microaggressions, there was an article I read and it talked about cultural humility can be a mechanism through which therapists may be able to lessen the impact of microaggressions and other cultural offenses when they do occur. So it's not that we can completely obliterate it, but when they do occur, if we are humble, if our client likes us, if we have a good therapeutic relationship, humility is key to that. Thank you very much.